Hello, my friends. How are we doing today? Congrats on unlocking a new angle of my room. A new angle of my room. You can see my artwork and my other artwork and my cowboy hats. There's another cowboy hat next to that painting, but you can't see it. We're doing a new angle because I got a new microphone. Which is very exciting. It's very exciting. Those little lav mics I was using were simply not good. Which was very disappointing and also a waste of money. This mic is also not very good. It's very cheap, but it's definitely better than the other ones, and it gives me more of the sound I was looking for. Still a very natural sound, nothing super techy or echoey. I love an echoey ASMR, but that doesn't really feel like my vibe personally, and especially because I do a lot of reading. I really would prefer for my voice to be a little bit more distinguishable than a lot of echoey ASMR videos allow for. So this is my first video with this mic. I thought we'd do a little test. I probably won't start using it for reading until I'm very comfortable using it. And until I finish up the Prisoner of Azkaban, because I don't really want to switch techniques in the middle of the video. So instead, we're gonna do some test videos with this mic until I finish Prisoner of Azkaban, and then we will probably switch to using this one. Unfortunately, this mic does not change the fact that I'm right next to a street and I live in a city and it's gonna be loud. So I thought today we would do some marker swatching. These are a pack of my Ohuhu markers, which I love to draw with. I also have a neutral tones pack, but I didn't think that would be quite as interesting. So instead, I thought we would do a little swatch test / if you so desired, we can do an intuition test, a little intuition game. You can try and guess what color I'm going to pull before I pull it, and then we'll swatch. Obviously, you are under no obligation to play along with the intuition game. Do not feel like you have to think about it or participate. Feel free to just turn your brain off. And I apologize profusely for the noise. We're going to be swatching on this piece of paper. actually a pad of watercolor paper. A pad of watercolor paper. So let's go. Obviously, there are multiple shades of each color, and as long as you guess the color, you've won. You don't have to think light blue or dark blue or medium blue. Just whatever you are feeling. We're gonna go through, think about your color, lock it in. We have chosen Old Red. Old Red. And the swatch will look like this. This is our swatch of Old Red. Oh, that might be an issue. That was a little loud. Alright, we're gonna go to our next marker. Think about your color. And the color we have picked is cloud blue. Cloud blue. Did you think cloud blue? Probably not. I wouldn't bet on it. What is that noise? This color seems like it's actually quite similar to my glasses, but let's take a look. Oh, it's a little bit more teal than my glasses. It's a little darker. There is cloud blue. We're gonna put the cap on away from the microphone. Away from the microphone. Here. We're gonna do it down here. That still wasn't good. I didn't think about that at all. I didn't think about that at all. Our next color, if you would like to guess, is being chosen right now. And I'm not even gonna look. I'm gonna pick Mauve Shadow. Mauve Shadow. And then we're gonna test it. Oh, that is definitely a pretty color. It's definitely a pretty color. Looks like that. I'm actually not gonna clip the caps back on until after the video. That seems like a better idea. Our next color is sky blue. This one definitely seems like it's the color of my glasses. Let's see. Oh yeah. It's actually more the color that I think my glasses are, and not the color that they actually are. So there's that swatch. These are kind of large swatches. I'm worried we're gonna run out of room. Our next color is cherry pink. Cherry pink. It is cherry pink. I'm gonna pop the cap. And then we're gonna go that's very nice. It's giving definitely like a kid's pink, like how they make like kids clothing. This is the shade of pink that I feel like they would use, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I think it's actually quite nice. Our next color is salmon pink. It is salmon pink. This one is definitely one that I use for flesh tone before I got my neutrals kit. It's like that. It looks a little bit more orange in the video, but it's actually not that orange. Especially once you start sort of blending it with other colors and putting other colors on top of it. Our next color, if you want to guess, is going to be, I'm not gonna look, pale green. Pale green. We haven't gotten a green yet, so let's do it. The greens in this box I don't use very often. I feel like there's a lot of them, and I really definitely struggle with using green in my artwork. I've been trying to do it more. Oh, I accidentally closed that one, so sorry. But it's definitely not my favorite art color. I do like it in general. Our next color is coral pink. Coral pink, which is, we're getting a lot of pinks. I was gonna say it's not that different from cherry pink, but it is definitely dustier. It is dustier, and I like dustier pink. If you can see, that is the cherry pink, and that is the coral pink. That looks so cool and moody when it goes dark. How fun. Like I said, I haven't filmed from this angle ever, and the lighting's not as good because I'm not getting the direct light from my window because it's next to me as opposed to in front of me. Our next marker color is, I looked at this one, light violet, which I think is a very interesting name for this color because I feel like it's actually quite a vivid violet. I wouldn't really call it light violet. I wouldn't really call it light violet. See, it's more like a fuchsia in my opinion. I would say this one is quite close to cherry pink. Our next color is pastel rose. We are getting a lot of pinks. Which one of you is thinking? Oh. Which one of you is thinking about pink and swaying these results? I've got to know. This is a fun pink, but it's definitely somewhat difficult to use. I will use it on faces for like cheeks and lips. Alright, and our next color is going to be vivid green. Vivid green. I did a whole background in this color. Oh wait, no I didn't. It was a different color. I don't know if I've ever used this one actually. The tip feels very pointy. It feels like a very pointy nib. Oh my god. I apologize for the noise. I apologize for the noise. It is snowing outside. It is snowing. snowing, 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 snowing. And because of that, everyone has forgotten how to drive, which is great. Alright, our next color is, ooh, royal blue. We haven't gotten a blue in a while, and the blue we did get was quite, oh, I guess we got the cloud blue, but the first blue we got was quite teal. Let's see. Oh, that's a very pretty blue. That is a very pretty blue. Very, quite deep in comparison. Quite deep in comparison. I love drawing with alcohol markers. I think it makes it very easy. Oh, we've chosen another blue. Very easy for me to achieve the look that I want in my art. I like a very vivid sort of look, and alcohol markers really lend themselves to that, which is great. That was a very messy swatch. See, it is. This one is cerulean blue. Sorry for not letting you know. I'm gonna close it up. Pick another one. Oh, we picked orange. Just orange. Nothing fancy, just orange. So, let's show you guys just a basic orange, but it's a very nice orange. It's not muddy or gross, it's just a nice bright orange. And the truck brakes are squeaking outside because the ground is wet and nobody knows how to drive. My next color is grass green. This is the one that I was talking about earlier. I colored in a whole background thinking that it was going to be a lot lighter than it actually was. And it's nice. It's definitely nice, don't get me wrong. But I thought it was going to be a lot lighter. Oh, sorry, I closed that one. I think we're about approaching halfway through. Oh, and we've chosen another warm color. We haven't picked a lot of those. This one is marigold. Marigold. And we're starting a new row. Starting up here. I'm gonna go. This one is definitely a bit earwaxy. A little bit earwaxy. But it's a good color to use because sometimes like a bright orange or a bright yellow comes across as a little jarring, and sometimes I don't want jarring. We're gonna pick unholy crap. I can't talk too much trash. That one was a school bus. Like, get your kids home safely, babes. Do what you gotta do. It's okay if you interrupt my video. Get those kids home. But it is pretty funny. It's like the universe just does not want me to be able to film a relaxing ASMR video. Alright. While that bus was squeaking by, I had picked turquoise ink blue, which is a very nice color, but not one that I use a lot because it's really a commitment. It's very much a commitment to day is just especially bad with the interruptions. But yeah, turquoise ink blue is a commitment, and because it's like a bluey green, it makes it kind of difficult to use, but I do really like the color of it. Alright, our next shade is terracotta. Terracotta. This is definitely one I use a lot as a skin tone, especially before I got my neutrals pack, because it's a very nice brown. It's very nice brown, very warm. I like a warm sort of I'm gonna lose my mind. But I like a warm sort of tone to my faces a lot of times when I draw them, with an exception of this alien right here that has a blue face. Alright, our next color is absinthe. Absinthe. It is absinthe. We've got quite a earthy tone going on in this column here. I feel like our first column was very colorful and bright, and this one is not so much. Alright, the interruptions are off the charts. Let's try and power through the rest of the video. We're going to pick anise. Anise? I'm gonna start crying. I cannot make this up. There are literally two guys and a truck, and they are unloading massive beer kegs. They're just these huge metal drums because I live around a lot of bars, and they're parked directly outside my window, and they're unloading massive metal drums from a metal truck and wheeling them across the street in metal dollies. Just nobody wants me to make ASMR. It's so sad. Okay, so our next color is anise, which still sort of falls under this earthy tone, which is very interesting. Watch our next color be like bright purple or something. But I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna look. We're gonna look away. And we're gonna pick warm gray. This one's boring. I just use this one so that the whites of people's eyes actually know that's the cool gray. This one I use for skin tones, but it's definitely not very warm for a skin tone, even if it is warm for a gray. And our next color is cool gray. They were like, you want earthy colors? Use some rocks. Here's some rocks. And our next color is glass green. We are still on this earthy streak. Glass green. This one I've also used a lot for backgrounds. I like it for backgrounds. It looks kind of terrible on this paper, I will say, but it looks better in person. Alright, our next color is turquoise green. This one, I keep looking back because I'm looking back at the art that I've done, that I have on display. So it's another one that's like a huge commitment, and I kind of have commitment issues. It's very dark, but it's a very beautiful color. Alright, our next color is black. still giving earthy. Black, black, black. Look at that. It's a very nice black, I guess. I don't use black very often in my art. I outline everything in black pen, but I rarely color things in black because, again, I have commitment issues. We're finally moving out of the earth tones. This one is pastel violet. I did say that our break from the earth tones was going to be a purple. I guess you could make the argument that flowers are earth, so violet could technically be earthy, but it's not an earth tone, you know? The guys with the beer cakes came back, but I heard their voices. Oh, yeah, I think they were taking the full ones into the bar, and then they're taking the empty ones back out to their truck. Really just being as noisy as possible. Alright, our next color is yellow green. It is yellow green. We've had a lot of these yellowy greens on this row. We had anise and absinthe and yellow green. I like that one though. That's a good one. That's a good color. That's the colorless blender. We don't even need to worry about that one. Rose beige. Rose beige is our next one. It is another one I like to use for skin tones. This is probably the one I use for like the base tone a lot. This one is usually highlights. This one is highlights. This one is base and terracotta shadows. There's also a couple other darker browns in here that I use as shadows. I'm coming down the home stretch. Emerald green. Emerald green. If any of you guys watched Wicked, thinking about that, because like Emerald City, I guess. I have not watched Wicked. I don't really have a good reason as to why, except for, hold on, the beer guys are pulling away, except for the fact that I'm just not the biggest Ariana Grande fan. Our next color is Raw Umber. This is another one I use for shadows in my skin tones. I don't have anything like personal against her. I think she's fine, I guess. I just always sort of felt like she's a bit overrated. She is on my list of artists that I've seen live because I saw her perform one song at the March for Our Lives in Washington, D.C. in, was that 2018 or 2019? It had to have been 2018, right? I can't remember. I'm so sorry. That feels like a terrible thing to forget. Because, you know, Parkland and everything, I don't really like that I've forgotten that. Our next color is pastel blue. Maybe this one is the one of my glasses. And this one I think most severely breaks the theme that we've had going on. Oh, my swishes have gotten very messy. But I guess you could say it's water. Turquoise green light. So I think we've had the dark one, and now it's time for the light one. It's actually not that light though. feel like I've been wanting to get a pastel pack of Ohuhu markers. They're sold out right now, but I'm waiting for them to restock because whilst I really like a lot of these colors, aubergine is our next one. Whilst I really like a lot of these colors, I feel like I need more pastels. I need more light colors to use for highlights and stuff. Aubergine is really a beautiful color, but again, I don't use it because it's really dark and I have commitment issues. Alright, and our next color that I definitely looked at as I just pulled it out is pastel pink. And again, it says pastel, but it's not. It's not what I would call pastel pink. It is definitely light, but it has almost more of like a neon vibe to it. I'm not sure how well you can tell on the camera, but it's very bright. And if I want a pastel pink, I don't really want a super bright pink. I want something a little dustier. Vivid reddish purple is our next one, which I think is a funny name. Like, you couldn't have come up with anything better than that. This is quite bright. Don't use a lot of pinks, mostly because the pinks in this pack are very bright. And they stand out too much. Our next color is brilliant blue. Brilliant blue, brilliant blue. I'm gonna go. Oh, it is such a pretty blue. It's so beautiful. It's very, very nice. And our next one is Bud Green. Bud Green. Wonder what kind of bud it is. Definitely a flower bud, judging by the color. See, there's a lot of greens. There's a lot of greens, and they're all kind of similar. Like, I would say, I think this is the grass green and the bud green, whilst they are different. A lot of times, I definitely don't have need for both in the same artwork. Barium yellow is our next one. I actually really like using this one. It's like, it has such a hideous name, but it's quite a nice, like, buttery yellow. We've got just a couple more left. We've got vivid purple as opposed to vivid reddish purple. But yeah, Ohuhu runs out of stock pretty often, I would say. I definitely believe they're a smaller business. So they've been sold out of the ones I've wanted for a little over a month now. And I'm just waiting for them to stock up so I can get some pastels. And then maybe if you guys would like, once I get them, I will do a swatch of those. Our next color is Sunflower. Sunflower, this is such a beautiful one. I use this in backgrounds a lot because it stands out from like the browns I use on the faces. The next one is dark yellow. This is unfortunately a more hideous yellow. It is also quite earwaxy. I definitely still use it, but like, it has to be part of something larger. It can't just be on its own, because on its own it's quite ugly. potato brown. We've left all these boring ones for last. We're gonna run out of room. There's our potato brown. Potato brown. Hold on, let me count and make sure I have enough room. Alright, I have 6 more colors to fit here. I think I can do it if I squeeze them. Let's see, alright, our next color is vermilion. Vermilion. I feel like, yeah, this is another one I don't use very often because of how bright it is, but it's a very nice red. I feel like I should use it more. It's the good thing about doing this swatch thing is I see like the colors I don't use very often and I'm like, oh, I should use that more. Our next color is geranium. Geranium. I'm trying to look. It doesn't really look like I've used this one much either. Oh, it's because it's dark. I have nothing against dark colors. I'm just kind of lazy with my art. I don't feel like trying to make them work. Our next color is deep red. I don't know why have we saved all the reds until last. I don't really understand. We did vermilion, then geranium, then deep red. Also, deep red is not as deep as the previous 2 reds. Hold on, I'll show you a little closer. Like, in my opinion, it's not, I guess maybe it's a little deeper, but like, not really. There's nothing super remarkable about it. Alright, we have 3 more. I think we can do it. 3 colors left. We have lavender, cool gray 0, and cool gray 4. Ooh, so interesting. So, what color do you think I'm going to pull? You have a much larger chance with one of the colors than you do with the others since we're not doing shades. But we are picking cool gray 0. How fascinating. This is the one that I use to put in the whites of the eyes that I draw to make them look less bright white. Then our next color, we have a 50-50 shot. Is it going to be gray or is it going to be lavender? It's going to be gray or lavender. It is going to be gray. Guess that means we're ending on lavender, which is good, but it also means we're really not gonna have a lot of room for it. We barely have enough room. I did not squeeze these enough. There's the gray. I'm not gonna bother showing it to you super closely. It's boring, it's gray. And then our final color is a motorcycle. Is lavender. Do lavender right at the bottom. Oh, I messed that up grievously. I hate going off the page. But again, I feel like the lavender is quite dark. And that's why I went the pastel, because I really want a lighter color. A lighter color. But we made 3 columns. 1, 2, 3. Looks pretty good horizontal too, I will say. 1, 2, 3. And I hope you guys enjoyed, despite all the interruptions. I hope you enjoyed. Despite all the interruptions. I'm feeling very dramatic in this video. video because the shadows keep darkening around me. They keep darkening around me. I'm having a fun time. Alright, I hope you guys have a great afternoon, evening, morning, whatever, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye!